Hello G Nation, it is time to do a new character preview, this time on Jimmy Uso, the Bloodline. Now if you're not already a sub on my channel, make sure to do so to be kept aware when I post new stuff, and click that notification bell so you don't miss out. Also, if you do like the video, make sure to leave a like as well. Now, he's a technician, and I gotta say, when I looked at his move, he really didn't seem that interesting or anything to be excited about. We are delayed a bit to do this preview because they did rework on him to make him a bit better. I still don't think that he's that great of a character, but he's definitely not as bad as I thought he was. So let's have a look. The first moveset, oh, actually, before we get to the moveset, let me show you. I can misclick. Let's go look at his card. Coach ability at 9,000 is botch gems do 2,200 more damage. Yeah. Links with the Fadu family. Any color moves start with one more move point. And the Anoya Legacy, which is green submission move, do 20,000 more damage per turn. Smackdown and Modern Era, and he doesn't have any gears. Alright, so the first moveset we'll look at is the triple green, obviously the 5-star moveset. It is the Samoan Splash, 10 MP green move, finisher deals 168.7k damage, and choose a 4x4 area to swap into green gems. The Diving Corkscrew Moonsault, 8 MP green move, deal 91.2k damage, and make 13 random size gem into X-Break gems. And the Open Hand Uppercut, 4 MP green move, deals 65.6k damage, and choose a 5x5 area to make into Silence gems. Trainers for that, we're going to go double green trainers with Steel and Breeze so that we can get all 3 moves ready on the first turn. I also have Santa Ogan here to get the extra 1 MP. More importantly, get 2,200 of any colored gem. And I have Lacey so that my purples and greens are both getting 20% extra. You could go with this moveset and go with plus green damage. Green move damage, that would work too. You could go with, I think it's Luger that's specifically 2,200 green damage, but since we're going to be making X-Break and everything, I kind of want to get more than just green damage. For this, we are going to use the Chic Plate. That's a thing though with him, like you pretty much need some plates to help you out to do decent damage. So we're going to have the Chic Plate, which is whenever you activate a green move, increase your green move damage by 100% for 2 total turns. That's going to be pretty effective, I'm sure. I do have a green metal here that adds 133%, so that should help as well. Let's try that. We're going to go versus Brett. Alright, so we're gonna start by making our Sans Gemeria. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. That increases our finisher to 555 right now. This one is going to be 300k, and it's going to make 13 silence into X. There you go. The finisher is at 724. Now we're going to make a 4x4 area. I'm going to pick it here. It's going to connect to 4 extra greens plus 3 here that don't have X. Could pretty much blow the whole board. $808 after damage mitigation. which ended up to 1.5 mil, I think. And that worked out pretty good. Now this, though, is with the iron sheet plate. Now let's try it again without the sheet plate and just with a regular plate. Alright, this time we're going to try the exact same setting, although we're going to use the DX plate one. Maybe shouldn't have set a more common plate. Well, it's technically more... It is not common, but it is more common than the chic plate. It's definitely not easy to come by, but a lot more people have the two-word for you. You could also use... what's the name of the other one? Cheap shot. This one. The one that when you land a crit, you your opponent does 50% less damage with his gem for one turn. Alright, let's try it with this one. I don't know what the fuck's up with his hands. Why did the artist think that it was a good idea to have the hands twice the size of the head? Obviously it's gotta be an abstract artist or something. Let's lay our silence gems right there. We're going to turn them, a bunch of them, into X. We also got the plate that added 2 more of those. Okay, so now our finisher is at 386. What was it, like 800 or something like that? Or 700 earlier, so it's definitely a lot less. Let's see if it's still enough to get a pin. Let's lay it down around here. Refilled all the moves. 1.2 mil. Oh, he almost did kick out. Definitely a much less comfortable pin for sure. Alright, let's look at something different now. Alright, the other moveset is a small variation of what we just saw. We're basically replacing the finisher that made the green area into the leg trap and Zaguri. It is a 6 MP black move, deals 68.9k damage, and swap a 3x3 random area into green gems. This, by the way, is the reason we waited to do this preview, because originally this was a completely different move. The original Enziguri was a move that did like 170,000 damage or so and tagged your opponent in, which was completely useless. At least this gives you another option to work with the green moves. So much better, and we're actually going to see another variation of this right after this moveset. So this is what we're going to be using. The other 2 green moves are the same we had before that made the silence and the X. Trainers are going to be similar, except we're using Bray Wyatt this time to start with more black, and we're going to use Slick Rick to have more overall damage of all color, because we're still going to have a bunch of X that are going to break the whole board. We have also Santa Ogan to have 2200 extra damage and any color move +1. And we're keeping Lacey for the purple and green 20% extra. Now for the plate, we're going to be changing the DX plate, although that is still a good option you could use with that. You could also use the cheap shot plate. What we're going to have a look at his own plate that's getting released today. You just find it in my plates. Obviously I don't get to keep it. I'll have to earn it like everyone else. There it is. Whenever you make 8 or more silence gem, increase your green gem damage by 150% for 3 turns. Now we're not going to make only greens, so it might not be as powerful as it could be. We will try another spec specifically for green right after this though. Let's try that. Right. So we got both of those ready. I'm gonna make the area move already. I'm gonna put it in the middle. We're gonna have the 3x3 area that is random there. He's probably gonna get out of that. 554. He did. We're gonna make again more science gem. I'm gonna put them still in the middle because I don't want to have too many science gems around because it just dilute the options where the X are gonna be. Like you don't want the whole board to be science because they're just gonna be more spread apart. Although technically that ain't that bad either if they're spread apart. Now they're there. And now we're gonna have a 3x3, which hopefully will break some of them. Should technically, because like even if it lands on a corner, it's pretty much bound to break at least one. There you go. Broke a whole bunch of stuff. 1.3 mil. Also works pretty good. It's not turn 1, but it still works pretty good. I mean, you could technically be lucky and win turn 1, but yeah, more likely to be a turn 2 spec. Alright, let's try something kind of similar, but really optimized for green gem damage. Alright, small but meaningful variation to what we just saw. We're gonna be still using the leg trap and Ziguri that makes the 3x3 green area, but we are replacing the move that made the X gem with the Samoan Splash finisher, 10 MP green move, finisher deal 168.7k damage, and choose a 4x4 area to swap into green gems. This means that we're gonna have two moves that make sizable area of green gem, and we do keep the Jimmy plate right now that adds green gem damage. Trainers for that, we're gonna add a layer of green gem damage. We're gonna keep Bray, but we're gonna put Booker here that adds 35% more green damage. You could use Stardust, does the exact same thing. You could use, I don't remember, there's another one that adds 2200 damage, but 35% is definitely more. Coaches, we're using still Santa and Lacey. If you don't, well, you don't really have a choice. You have Lacey. She was given free to everyone. But if you recently started and don't have her, then you have lesser options, most likely. But there is, who's the one that gives 2200? I think that's Luger, if I remember well. Let me just double check. Yeah, Luger has add 2200, and you also have veteran Cena that adds 15%, but I mean, let's face it, Lacey is a hell of a lot more common than those two. So again, we're keeping the Uso plate here that adds 150% to green gem damage. I don't think that spec would be anywhere near as useful if it wasn't for that plate. You could always go with something like the DX plate again or the cheap shot, but yeah, not sure it would be anywhere near as good. Yeah. Right now our greens are doing 2200. I'm gonna lay down silence gems. Now they're doing 39,000. All right, 478k should get out of that. Our greens are still at 39k. We're gonna lay down another batch of silence. Now Now this time they're 56k each. And we're gonna make a 4x4 area. Not that many to connect to, but this is gonna connect to an extra 3. $1.5 mil after mitigation, and it reloads both green moves should he kick out of it, which he's not. That's pretty useful. Now, if you're like me, you're probably wondering, how viable is this without the damn plate that barely anyone's gonna have? Well, let's check it out. Alright, so let's change that plate. Instead, we're gonna put... what are we gonna put? Cheap shot, maybe? Oh, let's go with a blue bomber. Definitely not that rare of a plate, even though it's obviously not common if you don't have plates. Alright, let's go with that and see how sizable the difference is. Lay down our size gems. Let's make more size gems. Let's see, instead of 1.5, how much we're getting. 860. We're getting half the damage, basically. Oh, well. I mean, I would have expected him to kick out of this. It's just that the CPU was dumb, and for his third pin, he actually swapped loot gems. But I would have expected that he would normally have kicked out, and we would have had to do those green moves again. So, I mean, let's agree it's a significant change if you don't have that plate. I probably would not use that. I definitely would not use that moveset without the plate. I would probably go so far with the first moveset we saw. We do have another moveset to look at. Alright, last moveset we'll have a look at. It's gonna be the Samoan Drop, 6 MP black move, deal 74.8k damage and make 7 random gems into purple gems. Super Kick, 7 MP purple move, deal 86.7k damage and make 6 random black gems into multiply gems of strength 5. And the Running Hip Attack, 7 MP purple move, deal 81.4k damage and choose 6 gems to make into black gem. I got a feeling I'm not going to be a big fan of this moveset. It kind of feels like the kind of moveset you would get out of a free MLC guy, really, with 2 out of 3 moves being random. Thank God the meaningful one is a choose, but still, a lot of randomness. Now, the trainers we're going to use for that wood, so that we start with more purple. Matt Hardy, so that our multiply gems are going to be of strength 7. Other options, if you don't have Matt, I wouldn't use Sin Cara, because you're already making 6 blacks into multiply. I mean, the odds that you're going to have more than 6 blacks are already pretty low. Otherwise, if you don't have Matt, I'd probably just go for straight black gem damage. Something like that would definitely work out. I got also Santa Hogan, start with one more MP, don't really care. I do care about 2200 more damage for any color. And I put in Hogan here, like, I wanted to go with Hall of Fame Brie, which adds 2 blacks and 5% black damage, or you could go with Riddle that adds 2 black as well. I decided to go with Hogan just because the recycling, which I'm sure we're gonna need, because there's no way that's gonna do enough. maybe. But the recycling would maybe be an issue if you're only making 7 purples. Like, making 8 is a little better. So, I mean, let's see. It's quite possible that due to the multiply strength, if they're close enough and we can match a bunch, maybe. All right, let's see it in action. I'm making a lot of assumptions. Let's see how it's going to go when actual gameplay. Alright, first we're gonna get more multiplies. Now we need to see how many we can break. There's one I can't touch. $7.93, that's actually not too bad. And apparently our purple's ready again. I missed that one. I guess some purple connected. Alright, we only have 3 blacks though. This is not cool. Let's try to do this to maybe have some matches and get some more blacks on the board. Well, that's even worse. Oh well. Hopefully it's gonna fall either there or basically wherever it falls it's gonna connect with purple, so that's good. I'm gonna put 4 like that, that way we're gonna get those purples too. And I'll just put the other one there. Didn't want to risk not getting the purple. 560. He's out. Now we do have a better amount of blacks. $8.22. I mean, it definitely works. Definitely slower than the rest because you don't really get that high damage. I mean, it's a big number. You get like 500, 600, 700 maybe. But at 5-star gold, that's really not that impressive. So it definitely feels more like a free guy than, well, not so free guy. Alright, so that is pretty much it for Jimmy. I'd say the first moveset, definitely my favorite, with the Chic plate. Even without, it's probably not that bad either. But yeah, overall, a very workable character. I think we're more getting too used to getting OP characters released these days, because he's really not a bad character. He's just not an OP character. He's not a top tier character. I'm not even sure he's a tier 2 character, really. But yeah, I mean, he's a workable character for sure, just not an OP guy. So yeah, that is pretty much it for Jimmy. Thanks for watching. If you're not already a sub, make sure to do so to be kept aware when I post new stuff. Have any questions, ask them. And if you like the video, leave a like and share. See you guys. Ciao.